Genesis 3 verses 14 to 15. 14 And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life, 15 And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Genesis 25 verses 22 to 26. 22 And the children struggled together within her. And she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, 23 And the Lord said unto her, Two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger, 24 And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, 25 And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, 26 And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. 2 Esdras 6:7-9. 7 Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? 8 And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, 9 For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Common sense.
You've never been to Africa?
No.
You gotta go. Man, it's your motherland. What are you thinking? Missing out. What are you?
Huh? What?
Where are your ancestors from? Congo? Ivory Coast? Southeastern Bantu region.
I don't know. This spooky thing called slavery happened, and my entire ethnic identity was erased.
Exactly.
Leadership
Hayes and
and
the
deliberately
Governors.
misled us by telling us that we something called an African American, a Negro, or some colored folks.
Right.
I don't know what they're talking about. My bloodline come from feather wearing, fire dancing, all night long weed smoking, chief token in front of the clans telling the grid stories of what happened to our people. That's where I come from. Now, the good thing about
All true. Yeah.
okay, then the Trail of Tears, they marched the servants that they brought over here with them from the wars with the Mongolians, the wars with the Huns, and the wars with the Vedics. And they told us those are some people called Native Americans, whatever in the fuck that is.
I don't know. I had people, I'm from the tribe of Choctaw. I had people that came through the Trail of Tears. Upon my
And
research.
that's where they switched us out at. On the way to the reservation, most of us was kicked off in the South.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
And they homesteaded us in the South under sharecropper agreements to keep us under their thumb. And then they went on and passed their other slaves they brought with them as us. Andrew
believe that as Black people, should we become more prejudiced in a certain way where we only look out for each other?
Every other group of people do. What you really want to ask is, should we be more racist? That's what he was going with. English isn't our first language, right? We're not English. We're not from England. If we use the language that they forced and imposed on us properly, racist is demonstrating a degree of how much you love or do not love your race of people. So as the Honorable Mrs. Farrakhan said, a pianist, a violinist, these are not people who are against things. These are people, this is describing to what degree or level that you have attained in this field. If you want to be a person who preserves his or her race more, which we're not a race because there's no beginning to us and there's no end, you are being wise and intelligent just like everybody else when you look out for your people first.
Okay, go ahead. Watch this. How long is this video? Okay, play that. Watch this.
Mention Haiti, and this is what you'll likely hear.
Poverty, natural disaster, now political violence.
Every report about Haiti has to include the line that it's the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere.
But hold on for a second. Something's missing in this conversation, right?
We need to be all thinking about the relationship of what we're calling poverty in Haiti and the relation to the richness of the rest of the world. And how did the rest of the world get so rich?
Let's start with France. Imagine if you were enslaved, and after fighting for your independence, you were forced to spend the next couple of generations paying compensation to those who colonized you.
Stop!
Reparations for slavery.
So they had to pay reparations to France because they got their independence from France. France forced them to pay them reparations. Play.
Holders is a new one for me.
That is exactly what happened to Haiti.
This is punishment for their unwillingness to remain under the yoke of slavery.
A 13-year-old boy is gunned down in Columbus, Ohio, and the man who does the shooting says it's self-defense, and that's good enough. It goes away. Sinzay Reed, a 13-year-old, fatally shot. 36-year-old Craig Butler Sr., the shooter, an eyewitness who knows Butler, saw him exit a red truck and fire multiple times at Sinzay, striking him several times. Butler then got into his vehicle, fled the scene. Butler was previously convicted in Franklin County for misdemeanor domestic violence, and according to court records, which under federal law would prohibit him from having a gun. But there he was, October 12th, in the neighborhood, shooting down, killing the 13-year-old. You see his picture there. Franklin County Prosecutor's Office previously filed a murder charge against Butler Sr. in Franklin County Municipal Court in connection with Sinzay's death on the same day as the shooting. But a week later, prosecutors filed to dismiss the case. That was on October 19th. Franklin County Municipal Court Judge Mike McAllister accepted the motion and dismissed the case, meaning the $1 million bond Butler had been held on no longer applied, and Butler simply walked out of jail. He was released. Janet Group, who leads the criminal division, said the office would not comment further on a matter that is under review. Sinzay's sister, Michaela Nichols, said the prosecutor's office has not even communicated with their family and did not warn them Butler Sr., who lives nearby, would be let out of jail.
Shocking body camera video released today shows the deadly police shooting of Sonia Massey. The mother of two called 911 just before 1 a.m. because of a possible prowler, only to be shot by a deputy inside her own Illinois home. The now former deputy faces 3 counts of first-degree murder. CBS's Roxana Saberi has the video that shows the chaotic moments, and we do want to warn you that it is hard to watch.
What took you so long to answer the door?
Oh, I was trying to put on some clothes, sir. I'm sorry.
You doing all right mentally?
Yes.
Sure?
My medicine and stuff.
All right. Okay.
I love y'all. Thank y'all.
Inside the home, Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson can be heard asking Sonia Massey to check on the stove.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
Within seconds, things become tense.
Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
I rebuke you in the name of
Jesus. No, I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Massey starts to set down the pot and apologizes. Grayson fires 3 times, striking her in the face.
Headshot wound to female, 1078.
Prosecutors say Grayson's partner tried to give the 36-year-old first aid, even though Grayson discouraged him.
I'm gonna go get my kit. No, you done. You can go get it, but that's a pet shop.
Civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump is representing Massey's family.
Sonya needed a helping hand, but she got a shot to the face by the police.
The dark tale of slave wet nurses. Wives of slave owners timed their pregnancies with that of their slaves and then forcefully separated enslaved new mothers from their infants to serve as wet nurses for their children. With slavery and wet nursing, that invaluable breast milk, often referred to as liquid gold, benefited the white children, while cow or goat milk was fed as a substitute to black children.
This is going to be really hard for me to talk about, so bear with me. It's finna get dark in here. We are going to talk about the dark history on why jails were created. In 1863, African American slaves were freed. They thought things were great, but they really just got backstabbed. Now, as you know, in 1861 and 1865, the American Civil War happened. During the Civil War, roughly 179,000 black men fought in the Civil War. They fought in the war because they thought America would look out for them, which ultimately made them worry, because now how do we keep these people in control? The government needed a way to create peace, to keep the white people happy, but also take care of the African American citizens that just got freed. Before the 1890s, where they started the Prison Act, jails and prisons tend to look like houses. Some like this. After the American Civil War, the number of U.S. penitentiaries in the South and West spiked. So who y'all finna put in there? After this, a lot of African Americans were locked up. Their inmates population surpassed 30,000. By 1880s, African Americans became the major inmates. They were backstabbed. You're telling me that they helped fight the war and then they were falsely imprisoned to do more labor? Convicts, who were originally slaves, dug levees, laid railroad tracks, picked cotton and mined coals for private companies and planters. Mostly false imprisonment or doing more time than they deserved. Innocent man locked up for 37 years. 1944, George Steeny, 14-year-old, electrocuted and he was innocent. We're still living in this dark history, and Joe Biden played a part in it. Your president signed a crime bill, what was one of the key contributions to mass incarcerations in 1990s, especially hurting blacks and brown Americans. African Americans, they were never really freed. It just was switched. Black people were never given equality. Let's just clear that up. African Americans have been fighting for decades for equality from the government. Everybody be safe out there.
If you're coming from my last video, I also want to add, black babies were also used as alligator bait. Not only were they used as alligator bait, but they were often skinned alive in preparation for it. But it doesn't end there. They also came out with a black licorice candy. And here's the packaging showing a baby and an alligator. Next time somebody tries to say that all lives matter, just keep on thinking about this. Think about that.
Right. Sexy Red is a hip-hop artist who's very popular, and here is what she said back in last October. Take a listen.
Do you think more people are going to support Trump now in the hood or no?
Yeah, they support him in the hood. Because at first, I don't think people was with him like they thought he was racist, saying little and, you know, against women. But once he started getting black people out of jail and giving people their free money, baby, we love Trump. We need him back in office.
Yeah, a little bit of free money goes a long way.
We need him back. Because, baby, them checks. Oh, yes, them stimulus checks. Trump, we miss you.
Okay, first of all, y'all needed to see Stephanie Rose.
We're going to Theo Vaughn and Sexy Red.
That's where we're going, sis. That's where we're going. And the reason I'm telling you that is that I hear this a lot, Allie. People have a mismemory. They forget that Donald Trump opposed the stimmy.
For how
fought
long?
it. Nancy Pelosi gave people that stimulus check, not Donald Trump.
That's fucked up, Donald Trump, man. He ain't right, man. He cut the food stamps off. That was wrong, man. When he cut them food stamps off, I didn't see nobody posting no plates that week. Motherfuckers usually be on there. I got that mashed potato with the rice, with the gravy. They was posting God quotes all that week. This too shall pass. I seen one motherfucker just post a plate.
So if I get a job, I can get food stamps.
But if I don't get a job, they cut my food stamps. But if I get a job, they're going to cut my food stamps anyway. How does that work?